In the extraordinary journey and great saga of human endeavor, few stories that resonate with such enduring power and deep sorrow as that of the RMS Titanic's tragedy. RMS Titanic was an engineering marvel, a floating palace, a symbol of human ambition and innovation, and it was deemed unsinkable. However, amidst the luxury and happiness related to the magnificent RMS Titanic, a quieter yet profoundly significant story was unfolding. There was Jenny, the ship's cat, a humble cat with a sharp instinct, and an extraordinary mother cat who had an unbreakable maternal bond with her kittens. It seemed that Jenny was destined to become a powerful legend, whispered from generation to generation. This is the beginning of an amazing story. Jenny was not a pampered noble cat. She was a true ship cat, a working mouse hunter. Transferred from RMS Olympic, the sister ship of RMS Titanic, Jenny was a veteran of the seas. Her paws had stepped on many decks. She was a deck-level guardian of the ship. Jenny's duty was to keep the vast vessel free from unwelcome pests, patrolling the galleys and storage areas. As a silent guardian, Jenny made sure that no small intruders threatened the ship's valuable supplies. Jenny was more than just a mouser. She was an integral part of the RMS Titanic's beating heart. As the majestic RMS Titanic made its preliminary journey from Belfast, where it was built, to Southampton, a quiet miracle was happening inside the great ship. Jenny, with a strong and undeniable urge of a new mother, found a hidden and warm refuge in the bustling kitchen of the ship. Here, Jenny gave birth to a litter of kittens. All the kittens were born healthy, cute, and adorable. Congratulations to Jenny for becoming a new mother and for safely delivering her kittens into this world. In this humble den, the deepest human connection with Jenny began to form. A kind and gentle ship mechanic from Ireland, Joseph Mulholland, became their guardian angel. Mulholland, a young man with a warm heart, immediately felt a bond with Jenny and her newborns. Mulholland made it his personal mission to ensure Jenny and her kittens received enough food, providing them with extra scraps from the kitchen. He often stopped by for a quiet moment, offering soft words and gentle strokes. Jenny, in turn, appreciated the kindness that Mulholland had shown her. Another compassionate soul who frequently checked on Jenny was Violet Jessop, a cheerful young stewardess from Argentina. Violet also delighted in the sight of the mother cat and her kittens. Violet often spent time with Jenny and her kittens, giving a kind word and gentle glances. These tender interactions, often unnoticed by the other busy crew members and passengers, formed a quiet web of care that protected Jenny and her kittens, making them valued crew members even if unofficially. Jenny, in turn, sensed the kindness in these individuals, her extraordinary sharp instincts recognizing their noble souls. As the RMS Titanic was on its preliminary journey and approaching Southampton, a serene atmosphere shrouded the North Atlantic Ocean. The early days were blessed with clear skies and calm waters, reflecting a world full of hope but also ambition. It appeared calm but could be deceptive and destructive. However, for those attuned to the whispers of the sea, a slow but steady shift was occurring. A powerful depression began to push an immense iceberg toward the North Atlantic Ocean, where its path would also later be crossed by the RMS Titanic on its grand maiden voyage from Southampton to New York. This silent giant, difficult to see in the dark and calm water, carried an invisible and challenging threat to anticipate. For Jenny, the ship cat, this was not just an abstract warning. Her extraordinary senses could detect subtle shifts in the ship's vibrations, changes undetected in the movement of the ocean waves. A mother cat's instinct was profound and precise, as if she had an innate natural radar for survival. Jenny, who had made the ship her home for most of her young life, suddenly felt a profound disharmony, a chilling premonition that surpassed human understanding of safety and technology. Jenny's primal alarm bells were ringing. And finally, the RMS Titanic was able to complete its preliminary journey from Belfast to Southampton. RMS Titanic arrived in Southampton on April 4, 1912. RMS Titanic docked there for a few days while preparing for its grand maiden voyage from Southampton to New York, scheduled for April 10, 1912. The ship's gangways were bustling with final preparations. Soon, a profound moment would be revealed. The ship was magnificent, but the sea had already begun to whisper its secrets to those who would listen. And then, a very touching moment unfolded, but also became a question mark, which would later become a legendary story of its own. Joseph Mulholland witnessed something extraordinary. He saw Jenny, the mother cat, with strong determination and urgency, beginning to carry her tiny kittens one by one out of the busy RMS Titanic. One by one, Jenny carefully carried her tiny kitten with her mouth, until it was all done, down the gangway to the solid ground at the dock. It was an unprecedented act, a desperate statement from a mother cat, that this celebrated grand vessel was no longer safe for her precious family. For Joseph Mulholland, a man rooted in the wisdom of the sea, this was not mere a feline eccentricity. It was a powerful and undeniable sign. He understood that within the animal kingdom, there was often a foresight that was sometimes overlooked by humans, despite all their sophisticated logic. Joseph Mulholland saw the vast and magnificent RMS Titanic, then noticed a determined ship's cat, a chill running down his spine. Trusting the deep intuition of Jenny the ship cat, Joseph Mulholland made a life-changing decision to leave the RMS Titanic as well. He got off, choosing to follow the unexpected wisdom of a humble mother cat. Finally, as scheduled, the RMS Titanic embarked on its grand maiden voyage from Southampton to New York on April 10, 1912, around 1:30 p.m. Just a few days later, the instinct and prediction of Jenny, as well as the bold decision of Joseph Mulholland, which was undeniable, would soon be proven. The vast ocean, which initially seemed calm and serene, was hiding a great destructive secret. A giant iceberg was silently drifting towards the North Atlantic Ocean, where its path would eventually intersect with the route of the RMS Titanic. After 4 days of sailing, while in the North Atlantic Ocean, on the night of April 14, 1912, at 11:40 p.m., the RMS Titanic, which was speeding through the calm and very cold sea, ultimately met its fate. A gigantic iceberg scraped along the right side of the ship below the waterline. The vessel that was claimed to be unsinkable was severely damaged. The massive iceberg scraped the right side of the ship's hull below the waterline and tore the hull along 5 adjacent compartments. As a result, the very cold North Atlantic seawater began to enter and flood the internal compartments, starting from the ship's lowest deck and rapidly spreading to other compartments. During a period of 2 hours and 40 minutes from the moment of impact, the grandest and largest ship in the world, after struggling against the extremely cold and inhospitable sea, finally surrendered. A very horrific and tragic event had befallen the RMS Titanic. On April 15, 1912, at 2:20 a.m., just before dawn, the magnificent RMS Titanic vanished entirely beneath the cold and dark waves of the sea. Of the approximately 2,200 people on board, over 1,500 souls perished, most of them succumbing to the unbearable cold of the ocean. The North Atlantic Ocean, which initially offered hope and ambition, has now become a quiet and vast grave. We all mourn deeply for their souls. Thanks to Jenny's extraordinary intuition and Joseph Mulholland's wisdom to trust her, a miracle happened. Jenny, her kittens, and human lives were saved from a catastrophic loss. After all, life will find a way. The amazing story of Jenny the Titanic ship cat is more than just a historical note. It has blossomed into a cherished legend. This tale fulfills humanity's need for meaning and comfort, a testament to the power of animal instinct and the unbreakable bond of motherhood. Jenny's amazing story reminds us to trust our instincts, listen to the whispers of the natural world, and cherish the deep connections we have with all living beings. Jenny's legacy, a quiet act of courage and wisdom, continues to inspire, reminding us that even in the greatest tragedies, hope and survival can arise from the most unexpected places, carried by the gentle paws of a mother cat. Jenny, wherever you are, we wish you and your kittens all the best. You are a hardworking and wise mother cat with a sharp intuition that we have ever heard.